My Licorice is alive with Mack the Knife, the great Kurt Weill standard, popularly associated with Bobby Darin's smash recording. Also, it was later recorded by Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong and Frank Sinatra. And the tune, on the surface, seems to be an up-tempo anthem to a kind of swinging mid-1960s grooviness. But actually, Mack the Knife, or Die Mordetaat von Mackith Messer, that tune betrays something darker and more menacing. In truth, as originally composed, it was a musical ode to the poverty-stricken, murder-minded underworld that haunted pre-fascist Berlin in the late 1920s. The tune, Die Mordetaat von Mackith Messer, was originally composed, like I said, by Kurt Weill for Bertolt Brecht's musical masterpiece, the Threepenny Opera, otherwise known as Die Dreigroschen Oper. The tune seems to me like a fitting prelude to where I am headed today, the third act of Shakespeare's Othello, the Moor of Venice, which I will be diving into momentarily. So, folks, welcome to this episode, number 14 of Rebel Without Applause, entitled Destiny Unshunnable, coming to you, as it always does, from my movie studio apartment in the Wood of the Holly, overlooking the magic land of La, where I explore the netherworld of my brain and hopefully shed a little light into yours. Today, we will journey down the shaded, stony alleyways of a citadel on the Isle of Cyprus, where Iago, like Mack the Knife in Berlin, will be doing his murderous business. But unlike Mackie in Berlin, Iago will be doing his business not in the shadows. Iago will be doing his business on the vulnerable psyche of Othello, that Moor from Venice. The story now begins its inexorable journey from the political to the personal, from the social to the intimate. So listen with your eyes and watch with your ears as Iago, like an envenomed snake slithering silently out of a basket, wields his hypnotic power over Othello. So, picking up where we left off, the Ottoman Armada has been dismembered and destroyed on the high seas. Michael Cassio, Desdemona, Iago, and his wife Amelia arrive safely on the fortified Isle of Cyprus. Last to make landfall is the General Othello. Overjoyed by military triumph and the safe passage of his bride, the general declares a period of celebration. Cassio and Iago and the Cypriot Montano are entrusted to the watch. But Cassio, edged on to drink by Iago, brawls with Roderigo and Montano, sending the whole of the citadel into a general alarm. Wakened from his bridal bed, Othello strips Cassio of his lieutenancy. Grieving his loss of rank and reputation, Michael Cassio seeks the counsel of honest Iago, who urges Cassio to plead for his restoration to Desdemona, who, as Iago assures him, is framed as fruitful as the free elements. And so we begin Act 3, where, beneath the fortress that overlooks the sea in a cloistered cobblestone corner of the Cyprus citadel, a weary Cassio and a musician arrive upon a small courtyard that fronts the residence of Othello. "Musician, sir, play here. I will content your pains. Something that's brief and bid good morrow, General." From the residence comes a clown. "Why, musician, sir, has your instrument been in Naples that they speak in the nose thus?" "How, sir, how?" cries the musician. "Is this, I pray you, a wind instrument?" "I marry it is, sir." "Oh, thereby hangs a tale." "Whereby hangs a tale, sir?" "Marry, sir," says the clown, "by many a wind instrument that I know. But, musician, sir, here's money for you, and the general so likes your music that he desires you for love's sake to make no more noise with it." "Well, sir, we will not. If you have any music that may not be heard, to it again. But as they say, to hear music the general does not greatly care." "We have none such, sir." "Then put up your pipe in your bag, for I'll away. Go! Vanish into air away." The musician departs. Cassio approaches. "Dost thou hear, mine honest friend?" "No, I hear not, your honest friend. I hear you." "Prithee, keep up thy quillets. There's a poor piece of gold for thee. If the gentlewoman that attends the general's wife be stirring, tell her there's one Cassio entreats her a little favour of speech. Wilt thou do this?" "She is stirring, sir. If she will stir hither, I shall seem to notify unto her." "Do good, my friend." The clown withdraws into the residence. Enters Iago. "In happy time, Iago." "You have not been to bed, then?" says Iago. "Why, no. The day had broke before we parted. I have made bold, Iago, to send into your wife. My suit to her is that she will, to virtuous Desdemona, procure me some access. I'll send her to you presently. I'll devise a mean to draw the Moor out of the way, that your converse and business may be more free. I humbly thank you for it, says Cassio. Iago withdraws. I never knew a Florentine more kind and honest. From the residence enters Amelia. Good morrow, good lieutenant. I am sorry for your displeasure, but all will sure be well. The general and his wife are talking of it, and she speaks for you stoutly. The Moor replies that he you heard is of great fame in Cyprus and great affinity, and that in wholesome wisdom he might not but refuse you. But he protests he loves you, and needs no other suitor but his likings to take the safest occasion by the front to bring you in again. Yet I beseech you, says Cassio, if you think fit, or that it may be done, give me advantage of some brief discourse with Desdemona alone. Pray you, come in. I will bestow you where you shall have time to speak your bosom freely. I am much bound to you. On another part of the citadel overlooking the sea enters Othello, Iago, and gentlemen. These letters give Iago to the pilot, and by him do my duties to the Senate. That done, I will be walking on the works. Repair there to me. Well, my good lord, I'll do it. This fortification, gentlemen, says Othello, shall we see it? We wait upon your lordship. Into the courtyard from the residence enters Desdemona, Cassio, and Amelia. Be thou assured, good Cassio, says Desdemona, I will do all my abilities in thy behalf. Good madam, do, says Amelia. I warrant it grieves my husband as if the cause were his. Oh, says Desdemona, that's an honest fellow. Do not doubt, Cassio, but I will have my lord and you again as friendly as you were. Bounteous madam, whatever shall become of Michael Cassio, he's never anything but your true servant. I know it. I thank you. You do love my lord, says Desdemona. You have known him long, and be you well assured he shall in strangeness stand no farther off than in a politic distance. Aye, but lady, that policy may either last so long, or feed upon such nice and waterish diet, or breed itself so out of circumstance that I, being absent and my place supplied, my general will forget my love and service. Do not doubt that. Before Amelia here, says Desdemona, I give thee warrant of thy place. Assure thee, if I do vow a friendship, I'll perform it to the last article. My lord shall never rest. I'll watch him tame and talk him out of patience. His bed shall seem a school, his board a shrift. I'll intermingle everything he does with Cassio's suit. Therefore be merry, Cassio, for thy solicitor shall rather die than give thy cause away. On the other side of the courtyard enters Othello and Iago. Madam, says Amelia, here comes my lord. I'll take my leave, says Cassio. Why, stay here and hear me speak, says Desdemona. Madam, not now. I am very ill at ease, unfit for mine own purposes. Well, do your discretion. Cassio dashes out. Ha! I like not that, says Iago. What dost thou say, says Othello? Nothing, my lord, or if I know not what. Was not that Cassio parted from my wife? Cassio, my lord? No, sir, I cannot think it that he would steal away so guilty-like, seeing your coming. I do believe 'twas he. Desdemona approaches. How now, my lord? I have been talking with a suitor here, a man that languishes in your displeasure. Who is it you mean? Why, your Lieutenant Cassio. Good, my lord, if I have any grace or power to move you, his present reconciliation take. For if he be not one that truly loves you, that errs in ignorance and not in cunning, I have no judgment in an honest face. I prithee, call him back. Went he hence now? Yes, faith, so humbled, that he hath left part of his grief with me to suffer with him. Good love, call him back. Not now, sweet Desdemona, some other time. But shall it be shortly? The sooner, sweet, for you. Shall it be tonight at supper? No, not tonight. Tomorrow dinner, then. I shall not dine at home. I meet the captains at the citadel. Why, then, tomorrow night, or Tuesday morn, or Tuesday noon or night, on Wednesday morn. I prithee name the time. But let it not exceed 3 days. In faith, he's penitent, and yet his trespass in our common reason, save that they say the wars must make example out of her best, is not almost a fault to incur a private check. When shall he come? Tell me, Othello, I wonder in my soul what you would ask me that I should deny or stand so mammering on. What? Michael Cassio, that came a-wooing with you, and so many a time when I have spoken of you dispraisingly, hath taken your part. to have so much to do to bring him in. By'r Lady, I could do prithee no more. Let him come when he will, says Othello. I will deny thee nothing. Why, this is not a boon. 'Tis as I should entreat you wear your gloves, or feed on nourishing dishes, or keep you warm, or sue to you to do a peculiar profit to your own person. Nay, when I have a suit wherein I mean to touch your love indeed, it shall be full of poise and difficult weight, and fearful to be granted. I will deny thee nothing. Whereon I do beseech thee, grant me this, to leave me but a little to myself. Shall I deny you, says Desdemona? No. Farewell, my lord. Farewell, my Desdemona. I'll come to thee straight. Amelia, come, says Desdemona. And then to Othello, be as your fancies teach you. Whatever you want, I am obedient. Othello watches as Amelia and Desdemona withdraw. Excellent wretch, perdition catch my soul, but I do love thee. And when I love thee not, chaos is come again. My noble lord, what dost thou say, Iago? Did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, know of your love? He did, from first to last. Why dost thou ask? But for a satisfaction of my thought, no further harm. Why of thy thought, Iago? I did not think he had been acquainted with her. Oh, yes, and went between us very oft. Indeed? Indeed? Aye, indeed. Discernst thou aught in that? Is he not honest? Honest, my lord? Honest, aye, honest, my lord, for aught I know. What dost thou think? Think, my lord? Think, my lord? By heaven, thou echoest me as if there were some monster in thy thought too hideous to be shown. Thou dost mean something. I heard thee say even now thou likest not that when Cassio left my wife. What didst not like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel in my whole course of wooing, thou criedst, indeed, and did contract and purse thy brow together, as if thou hadst shut up in thy brain some horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show me thy thought. My lord, you know I love you. I think thou dost, and for I know thou art full of love and honesty, and weighst thy words before thou givest them breath. Therefore, these stops of thine fright me the more, for such things in a false disloyal knave are tricks of custom. But in a man that's just, they're close dilations working from the heart that passions cannot rule. For Michael Cassio, says Iago, I dare be sworn, I think that he is honest. I think so too. Men should be what they seem, says Iago, or those that be not, would they might seem none. Certain men should be what they seem. Why then, says Iago, I think Cassio is an honest man. Nay, yet there's more in this. I prithee, speak to me as to thy thinkings, as thou dost ruminate, and give thy worst of thoughts the worst of words. Good my lord, pardon me. Though I am bound to every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free to. Utter my thoughts? Why, say they are vile and false, as where's that palace whereunto fall things sometimes intrude not? Who has that breast so pure, but some uncleanly apprehensions keep leets and law days, and in session sit with meditations lawful? Thou dost conspire against thy friend, Iago, if thou but thinkst him wrong and makest his ear a stranger to thy thoughts. I do beseech you, says Iago, though I perchance am vicious in my guess, as I confess it is my nature's plague to spy into abuses, and oft my jealousy shapes faults that are not, that your wisdom, for one that so imperfectly conceits, would take no notice, nor build yourself a trouble out of his scattering and unsure observance. It were not for your quiet, nor your good, nor for my manhood, honesty, and wisdom, to let you know my thoughts. What dost thou mean? Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him, and makes me poor indeed. By heaven, says Othello, I'll know thy thoughts. You cannot if my heart were in your hand, nor shall not whilst 'tis in my custody. Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. That cuckold lives in bliss, who certain of his fate loves not his wronger. But oh, what damned minutes tells he o'er, who dotes, yet doubts, suspects, yet strongly loves. Oh, misery! Poor and content is rich, and rich enough, but rich as fineless is as poor as winter. To him that ever fears he shall be poor. Good God, the souls of all my tribe defend from jealousy. Why? Why is this, says Othello? Think'st thou I'd make a life of jealousy, to follow still the changes of the moon with fresh suspicions? No! To be once in doubt is once to be resolved. Exchange me for a goat when I shall turn the business of my soul to such a supplicate and blown surmises matching thy inference. 'Tis not to make me jealous to say my wife is fair, feeds well, loves company, is free of speech, sings plays, and dances well. Where virtue is, these are more virtuous. Nor from mine own weak merits will I draw the smallest fear or doubt of her revolt, for she had eyes and chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove. And on the proof there is no more but this, away at once with love or jealousy. I am glad of this, says Iago, for now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you with franker spirit. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of proof. Look to your wife. Observe her well with Cassio. Wear your eyes thus, not jealous nor secure. I would not have your free and noble nature out of self-bounty be abused. Look to it. I know our country disposition well. In Venice they do let God see the pranks they dare not show their husbands. Their best conscience is not to leave it undone, but keep it unknown. Dost thou say so? She did deceive her father, marrying you, and when she seemed to shake inferior looks, she loved them most, and so she did. Why go to, then? She that so young could give out such a seeming to seal her father's eyes up, close his oak, he thought 'twas witchcraft. But I am much to blame. I humbly do beseech you of your pardon for too much loving you. I am bound to thee forever. I see this hath a little dashed your spirits. Not a jot, not a jot. I faith, I fear it has, says Iago. I hope you will consider what is spoke comes from my love. But I do see you're moved. I am to pray you not to strain my speech to grosser issues nor to larger reach than to suspicion. I will not. Should you do so, my lord, my speech should fall into such vile success as my thoughts aim not at. Cassio is my worthy friend. My lord, I see you're moved. No, not much moved. I do not think but Desdemona's honest. Long live she so, and long live you to think so, says Iago. And yet, how nature, erring from itself. Aye, there's the point. As to be bold with you, not to affect many proposed matches of her own clime, complexion, and degree, whereto we see in all things nature tends. Foe! One may smell in such a will most rank, foul disproportion, thoughts unnatural, but pardon me, I do not in position distinctly speak of her, though I may fear her will, recoiling to her better judgment, may fall to match you with her country forms, and happily repent. Farewell, farewell. If more thou dost perceive, let me know more. Set on thy wife to observe. Leave me, Iago. My lord, I take my leave. Iago withdraws. Why did I marry? This honest creature doubtless sees and knows more, much more than he unfolds. Iago returns. My lord, I would I might entreat your honor to scan this thing no farther. Leave it to time. Although 'tis fit that Cassio have his place, for sure he fills it up with great ability, yet if you please to hold him off a while, you shall by that perceive him and his means. Note if your lady strain his entertainment with any strong or vehement importunity. Much will be seen in that. In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my fears, as worthy cause I have to fear I am, and hold her free. I do beseech your honor, fear not my government. I once more take my leave. Iago departs. This fellow's of exceeding honesty, and knows all qualities with a learned spirit of human dealings. If I do prove her haggard, though, that her jesses were my dear heartstrings, I'd whistle her off and let her down the wind to prey at fortune. Haply, for I am black, and have not those soft parts of conversation the chambers have, or, for I am declined into the vale of years, yet that's not much. She's gone. I am abused, and my relief must be to loathe her. Oh, curse of marriage, that we can call these delicate creatures ours and not their appetites. I had rather be a toad and live upon the vapor of a dungeon than keep a corner in the thing I love for others' uses. Yet 'tis the plague of great ones. Prerogatived are they less than the base. 'Tis destiny unshunnable like death. Even then this forked plague is fated to us when we do quicken. Look where she comes. Enters Desdemona and Emilia. If she be false, heaven mocks itself. I'll not believe it. How now, my dear Othello? Your dinner and the generous islanders, by you invited, do attend your presence. I am to blame. Why do you speak so faintly, says Desdemona. Are you not well? I have a pain upon my forehead here. Faith, says Desdemona, that's with watching. Twill away again. She pulls out a handkerchief. Let me but bind it hard. Within this hour it will be well. She wraps his forehead. Your napkin is too little, says Othello. Let it alone. The handkerchief falls unnoticed to the ground. Come, says Othello, I'll go in with you. I am very sorry that you are not well. Desdemona and Othello withdraw. Emilia spots the handkerchief. I am glad I have found this napkin. This was her first remembrance from the Moor. My wayward husband hath 100 times wooed me to steal it, but she so loves the token, for he conjured her she should ever keep it, that she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. I'll have the work taken out and give it Iago. What he will do with it, heaven knows, not I. I, nothing but to please his fantasy. Enters Iago. How now? What do you do here alone? Do not chide, says Emilia. I have a thing for you. You have a thing for me. It is a common thing. To have a foolish wife. Oh, is that all, says Emilia. What will you give me now for that same handkerchief? What handkerchief? What handkerchief? Why, that the Moor first gave to Desdemona, that which so often you did bid me steal. Hast stolen it from her? No, faith, she let it drop by negligence, and to the advantage I, being here, took it up. Look, here it is. A good wench, give it me! Iago grabs the handkerchief. What will you do with it that you have been so earnest to have me filch it? Why, what is that to you, says Iago. If it be not for some purpose of import, give it me again. Poor lady, she'll run mad when she shall lack it. Be not a known on it, I'll have use for it. Go, leave me. Emilia exits. I will in Cassio's lodging lose this napkin and let him find it. Trifles light as air are to the jealous confirmation strong as proofs of holy writ. This may do something. The Moor already changes with my poison. Dangerous conceits are in their natures, poisons which at the first are scarce found to distaste, but with a little act upon the blood burn like the mines of sulphur. Across the courtyard comes Othello. I did say so. Look where he comes. Not poppy, nor mandragora, nor all the drowsy syrups of the world shall ever medicine thee to that sweet sleep which thou owedst yesterday. False to me. Why, how now, General? No more of that. Avaunt! Begone! Thou hast set me on the rack, I swear. 'Tis better to be much abused than but to know it a little. How now, my lord? What sense had I of her stolen hours of lust? I saw it not, thought it not, it harmed not me. I slept the next night well, fed well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. He that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, let him not know it, and he's not robbed at all. I am sorry to hear this, says Iago. I had been happy if the general camp, pioneers and all, had tasted her sweet body, so I had nothing known. Oh, now forever, farewell the tranquil mind, farewell content, farewell the plumed troops and the big wars that make ambition virtue. Oh, farewell! Farewell the neighing steed and the shrill trump, the spirit-stirring drum, the ear-piercing fife, the royal banner, and all quality of pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war. And oh, you mortal engines whose rude throats the immortal Jove's dread clamors counterfeit, farewell! Othello's occupation gone. Is it possible, my lord? Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore. Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof, or by the worth of mine eternal soul, thou hadst been born a dog than answer my wakened wrath. Is it come to this? Make me to see it, or at the least to prove it, that the probation bear no hinge nor loop to hang a doubt on, or woe upon thy life, my noble lord. If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more. Abandon all remorse. On horrors' heads, horrors accumulate. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth amazed. For nothing canst thou to damnation add greater than that. Oh, grace, says Iago. Oh, heaven, forgive me. Are you a man? Have you soul or sense? God be with you. Take mine office. Oh, wretched fool that lives to make thine honesty a vice. Oh, monstrous world. Take note, O world. To be directed honest is not safe. I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend, since love breeds such offense. Nay, stay, says Othello. Thou shouldst be honest. I should be wise, says Iago, for honesty's a fool and loses that it works for. By the world, I think my wife be honest, and think she is not. I think thou art just, and think thou art not. I'll have some proof! Her name that was as fresh as Dian's visage is now begrimed and black as mine own face. If there be cords or knives, poison or fire or suffocating streams, I'll not endure it. Would I was satisfied! I see, says Iago, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. You would be satisfied. Would, nay, and I will. And may, says Iago. But how? How satisfied, my lord? Would you, the supervisor, grossly gape on, behold her top? Death and damnation! Oh! It were a tedious difficulty, I think, says Iago, to bring them to that prospect. Damn them, then, if ever mortal eyes do see them bolster more than their own. What, then? How, then? What shall I say? Where satisfaction? It is impossible you should see this. Were they as prime as goats, as hot as monkeys, as salt as wolves in pride, and fools as gross as ignorance made drunk? But yet I say, if imputation and strong circumstances which lead directly to the door of truth will give you satisfaction, you might have it. Give me a living reason she's disloyal. I do not like the office, says Iago, but sith I am entered in this cause so far, pricked to it by foolish honesty and love, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, and being troubled with a raging tooth, I could not sleep. There are a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I heard him say, "Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary. Let us hide our loves." And then, sir, would he grip and wring my hand, cry, "Oh, sweet creature," then kiss me hard, as if he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew upon my lips. Then laid his leg o'er my thigh and sighed and kissed, and then cried, "Cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor! Oh, monstrous! Monstrous!" "Nay," says Iago, "this was but his dream. But this denoted a foregone conclusion. 'Tis a shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream. And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate thinly. I'll tear her all to pieces." "Nay," says Iago, "but be wise. Yet we see nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me but this. Have you not sometimes seen a handkerchief spotted with strawberries in your wife's hand?" "I gave her such a one. 'Twas my first gift." "I know not that. But such a handkerchief, I am sure it was your wife did I today see Cassio wipe his beard with, if it be that. If it be that, or any that was hers, it speaks against her with the other proofs." Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now I do see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love, thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance from the hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crown and hearted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell, bosom, with thy fraught, for 'tis of aspics' tongues, yet be content. repent, says Iago. Oh, blood! 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 Patience, I say, says Iago. Your mind perhaps may change. Never, Iago. Like to the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont, even so my bloody thoughts with violent pace shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb to humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Othello kneels. Now by yond marble heaven in the due reverence of a sacred vow I here engage my words. Do not rise yet, says Iago. He kneels facing Othello. Witness you ever-burning lights above, you elements that clip us round about. Witness that here Iago doth give up the execution of his wit, hands, heart to wronged Othello's service. Let him command, and to obey shall be in me remorse. What bloody business ever. They rise. I greet thy love, says Othello, not with vain thanks, but with acceptance bounteous, and will upon the instance put thee to it. Within these 3 days let me hear thee say that Cassio is not alive. My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request, but let her live. Damn her, lewd minx. Oh, damn her! Damn her! Come. Go with me apart. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant. I am your own forever. In another part of the citadel, Desdemona, Amelia, and that clown enter. Do you know, Sirrah, says Desdemona, where Lieutenant Cassio lies? I dare not say he lies anywhere. Why, man? He's a soldier, and for me to say a soldier lies, 'tis stabbing. Go to. Where lodges he? To tell you where he lodges, says the clown, is to tell you where I lie. Can anything be made of this? I know not where he lodges, and for me to devise a lodging and say he lies here or he lies there were to lie in mine own throat. Can you inquire him out and be edified by report? Asked Desdemona. I will catechize the world for him, that is, make questions and by them answer. Seek him, bid him come hither. Tell him I have moved my lord on his behalf and hope all will be well. To do this, says the clown, is within the compass of man's wit, and therefore I will attempt the doing of it. He exits down an alley. Desdemona turns to Amelia. Where should I lose that handkerchief? I know not, madam. Believe me, I had rather lost my purse full of crusados. And but my noble Moor is true of mind and made of no such baseness as jealous creatures are, it were enough to put him to ill thinking. Is he not jealous? Who, he, says Desdemona? I think the son where he was born drew all such humours from him. Ah, look where he comes, enters Othello. I will not leave him now till Cassio be called to him. How is it with you, my lord? asked Desdemona. Well, my good lady. Hardness to dissemble. How do you, Desdemona? Well, my good lord. Give me your hand. Othello inspects her palm. This hand is moist, my lady. It yet has felt no age nor known no sorrow. This argues fruitfulness and liberal heart. Hot and moist. This hand of yours requires a sequester from liberty, fasting and prayer, much castigation, exercise devout. For here's a young and sweating devil here that commonly rebels. 'Tis a good hand, a frank one. You may indeed say so, says Desdemona, for 'twas that hand that gave away my heart. A liberal hand. The hearts of old gave hands, but our new heraldry is hands, not hearts. I cannot speak of this, says Desdemona. Come now, your promise. What promise, Chuck? I have sent to bid Cassio come speak with you. I have a salt and sorry room offends me. Lend me thy handkerchief. Here, my lord, that which I gave you. I have it not about me. Not? No, faith, my lord. That's a fault. That handkerchief did an Egyptian to my mother give. She was a charmer and could almost read the thoughts of people. She told her while she kept it 'twould make her amiable and subdue my father entirely to her love. But if she lost it or made a gift of it, my father's eyes should hold her loathed, and his spirit should hunt after new fancies. She, dying, gave it me, and bid me, when my fate would have me wife, to give it her. I did so, and take heed on it. Make it a darling like your precious eye. To lose it or give it away were such perdition as nothing else could match. Is it possible, says Desdemona? 'Tis true. There's magic in the web of it. A Sibyl that had numbered in the world the sun to course 200 compasses, in her prophetic fury sewed the work. The worms were hallowed that did breed the silk, and it was dyed in mummy, which the skillful conserved of maidens' hearts. In faith, is it true? Most veritable, therefore look to it well. Then would to God I had never seen it. Ha! Wherefore? Why do you speak so startlingly and rash? Is it lost? Is it gone? Speak, is it out of the way? Heaven bless us. Say you! It is not lost, but what then if it were? How? I say it is not lost. Fetch it! Let me see it! Why, so I can, but I will not now. This is a trick to put me from my suit. Pray you, let Cassio be received again. Fetch me the handkerchief! Oh, my mind misgives. Come, come, says Desdemona. You'll never meet a more sufficient man. The handkerchief, I pray, says Desdemona. Talk me of Cassio. The handkerchief. A man, says Desdemona, that all his time hath founded his good fortunes on your love, shared dangers with you. The handkerchief. In faith, says Desdemona, you are to blame. Othello withdraws. Amelia watches after. Is not this man jealous, says Amelia. I ne'er saw this before, says Desdemona. Sure, there's some wonder in this handkerchief. I am most unhappy in the loss of it. 'Tis not a year or two shows us some man, says Amelia. They are all but stomachs, and we all but food. They eat us hungrily, and when they are full, they belch us. Across the courtyard comes Iago and Cassio. Look you, Cassio and my husband. To Cassio, says Iago, there is no other way. 'Tis she must do it. And lo, the happiness. Go and importune her. How now, good Cassio, what's the news with you? Madam, my former suit, I do beseech you that by your virtuous means I may again exist and be a member of his love, whom I with all the office of my heart entirely honor. I would not be delayed, if my offense be of such mortal kind that nor my service past, nor present sorrows, nor proposed merit and futurity can ransom me into his love again, but to know so must be my benefit. So shall I clothe me in a forced content and shut myself up in some other course to fortune's alms. Alas, thrice gentle Cassio, my avocation is not now in tune. My lord is not my lord, nor should I know him were he in favor as in humor altered. So help me every spirit sanctified, as I have spoken for you all my best, and stood within the blank of his displeasure for my free speech. You must awhile be patient. What I can do I will, and more I will than for myself I dare. Let that suffice you. Is my lord angry? Asked Iago. He went hence but now, and certainly in strange unquietness. Can he be angry? I have seen the cannon when it hath blown his ranks into the air, and like the devil from his very arm puffed his own brother. And is he angry? Something of moment then. I will go meet him. There's matter in it indeed, if he be angry. I prithee do so, says Desdemona. Iago withdraws. Something sure of state, either from Venice or some unhatched practice made demonstrable here in Cyprus to him, hath puddled his clear spirit, and in such cases men's natures wrangle with inferior things, though great ones are their object. 'Tis even so. For let our finger ache, and it endues our other healthful members even to a sense of pain. Nay, we must think men are not gods, nor of them look for such observancy as fits the bridal. Beshrew me much, Amelia. I was, unhandsome warrior as I am, arraigning his unkindness with my soul. But now I find I had suborned the witness, and he's indicted falsely. Pray heaven it be state matters as you think, and no conception nor no jealous toy concerning you. Alas, the day I never gave him cause. But jealous souls will not be answered so. They are not ever jealous for the cause, but jealous for their jealous. It is a monster begot upon itself, born on itself. Heaven keep that monster from Othello's mind, says Desdemona. Lady, amen. I will go seek him. Cassio, walk hereabout. If I do find him fit, I'll move your suit and seek to effect it to my uttermost. I humbly thank your ladyship, says Cassio. Desdemona and Emilia withdraw. Enters a young woman, smiling and irritated, one Bianca. Save you, friend Cassio! What make you from home, says Cassio. How was it with you, my most fair Bianca? In faith, sweet love, I was coming to your house, and I was going to your lodging, Cassio. What, keep a week away? 7 days and nights, 80 hours, and lovers' absent hours more tedious than the dial 80 times? A weary reckoning. Pardon me, Bianca, says Cassio. I have this while with leaden thoughts been pressed, but I shall in a more continuate time strike off this score of absence. Sweet Bianca, he hands her Desdemona's handkerchief. Take me this work out. Oh, Cassio, whence came this? This is some token from a newer friend. To the felt absence now I feel a cause. Is it come to this? Well, go to, woman, says Cassio. Throw your vile guesses in the devil's teeth from whence you have them. You are jealous now that this is from some mistress, some remembrance. No, by my faith, Bianca. Why, whose is it? I know not neither. I found it in my chamber. I liked the work well. Ere it be demanded, as like enough it will, I would have it copied. Take it and do it, and leave me for this time. Leave you? Wherefore? I do attend here on the general, and think it no addition nor my wish to have him see me womaned. Why, I pray you? Not that I love you not, but that you do not love me, insists Bianca. I pray you, bring me on the way a little, and say if I shall see you soon at night. 'Tis but a little way, says Cassio, that I can bring you, for I attend here, but I'll see you soon. 'Tis very good. I must be circumstanced. Bianca leaves. Curtain, Act 3. I'm waiting for applause, but since I'm the rebel without, I hear none. But the drama surely ratchets up on the Isle of Cyprus. Iago's web is spinning ever more dangerously deep into the soul of Othello. Poor Desdemona doesn't really have a clue what's going on around her. If you were kind enough to hang for this, wherever you are, we're more than halfway through this journey now. I am indebted to you. Clearly, my need to experience this play as an actor, it's really not a play. It feels like I'm doing an audio movie. My need to do this far outweighs anybody's desire to hear me. So if you did, I am in debt to you. It's really a thrilling experience to just transport myself on the wings of Will's words into another time and another place, to live inside these imaginary circumstances. And we will continue this journey. I'm going to get this out to the world, and then I will dig my head into Act 4. So without any more blabbing on my part, I want to thank you again and wish you, as I always do, adios, goodbye, and adieu.